Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ruth O'Rourke. I am the ESD Chair of the Board of Governors, and I'm super excited to present to you Lindsey, who's going to be talking about our Point of Honor Excellence in our virtual speaker series. So I'm going to let Lindsey take over from here and have her do her wonderful presentation for us. Thank you again, Lindsey, for participating.
Thank you so much, Professor Ruth, for having me today. And congratulations to all the Eta Sigma Delta seniors out there that have just graduated. I know it's a crazy time right now, but you should give yourself a big pat on the back for all of your accomplishments, for being in the society itself, and then for graduating. I am coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, in my house, as most of you are in right now as well. And I'm a professional career coach. I have a background helping both young graduates transition to the workforce, and then I also work with higher level executive clients, move around industry to industry. I'm a certified professional resume writer, and I also go and give presentations to the private sector on professional development, workforce communication, and things like that. And in a minute, you're going to see a slide. I'm going to open up my slides, and I want you to know that, take this presentation and you can reflect on it afterwards, but we're going to be talking today about excellence and about, things that you can do to really invest in your future self in terms of having a job that can really kickstart an amazing opportunity for you as you transition into the workforce. So with that being said, we'll jump right in. This is a presentation I call LinkedIn 101, and we're going to talk about how to utilize LinkedIn strategically so that you can get some amazing opportunities and to interview at your dream companies. Okay. So I'm going to hop in, and Professor O'Rourke, if at any point you have any questions throughout, or you don't notice something that needs to be noticed on the screen, please let me know and we'll get started. I'm going to click share screen so you can see me, and we're going to jump right in. Okay. All right. Again, I'm so proud of everyone that's listening out there. It's a huge accomplishment, and I know it's a crazy time right now. But most importantly, I want everyone to think about what we're going to talk about today in terms of LinkedIn being a strategic way for you to get what you want out of that job. Before the pandemic, you may have gone and walked into a hotel or an employer, especially those of you that are extroverted that have that great customer service background, but you might not be able to do that now. You might not be able to physically go in, and I was going to say handshake, but they might just completely reinvent that. I don't know if the handshake's going to stick around. I'm a big fan, but who knows for the future of the handshake. But you're not going to be doing that maybe over the next couple months. But the exciting news is I'm going to teach you some tricks and some secrets to using the platform as a former recruiter, and so that you can know how to engage the right people right now strategically, digitally. And it's really going to help you out and help connect you to the people that can make decisions about who they're going to hire. Okay, this is a lot of boring information about me. Feel free to read it at your leisure. And I do want to go ahead and just really tap on when you're thinking about how to really achieve things in life, you want to set goals for yourself. And I know things can be really stressful right now. There's a lot of things maybe going on in your home. You've got a lot of competing priorities. You don't know where to start. I would set a goal for really mastering LinkedIn over the next couple of weeks, because like I said, it can definitely take you to another level in terms of connectivity that you may not be feeling right now physically with people. Okay, so LinkedIn can bring you into really any type of gateway you're looking for. And what do I mean by that? It's a path that a lot of people don't think about. You may be thinking, oh, LinkedIn, I'm on, Instagram or TikTok, which I really need to be engaged on, but I think I'm too old for the TikTok. But you might think about, I'm doing so much on social media, why LinkedIn? That's for old people. Well, it's really not. We're going to talk a little bit about the platform itself and why you need to use it, because it is really, really important. You're going to hop on there and have a great presence, and we'll talk about what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 things today. Those 3 things are: 1, reasons to use LinkedIn; how to build your perfect profile, and then how to leverage LinkedIn to support your job search. So you're going to see these slides, and I want you to, come back and review the how-to in terms of how to build that perfect profile. I do sessions with clients all the time that are, 45 minutes to an hour just on building a profile. And what I would say is you want to definitely start and make sure you have a resume before you jump right into the LinkedIn profile build out, because that content and those rich keywords are really, really important. So make sure you're utilizing your career services folks and reaching out to them to get someone that has experience writing resumes to get that content for you. Okay. So why bother? I talked a little bit about that. You might be like, I'm watching this because I'm a proactive student and I strive for excellence. And, Professor O'Rourke said it was important to me to do this. But I'm telling you right now, as someone who has seen it work hundreds of times, you are going to be able to engage more people at a broader rate than you are going to just emailing people or working with your network that you have right now, maybe at an internship or a part-time job. It is the world's largest professional network with over 610 million members. It's a lot of folks. It's the #1 site for employers. So when I was a senior recruiter, my complete job was to hire top talent for the organization right out of college. So I would travel to universities, Penn State, JMU, Florida State, I'm trying to name a few, University of Georgia. So I would travel up and down the East Coast, which was my territory, and I would shake a lot of hands. Again, don't know what's going to happen with the handshake in the future, but I would look for top performers just like you, and I would hopefully meet them in person, but sometimes maybe they couldn't meet me. And if they would reach out to me on LinkedIn, I would always do a phone interview with them because it shows such productivity. So just know that employers are on this site and they're utilizing it every day. 92% of Fortune 500 companies use LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you how to search for them in a minute. You can get introduced to people that work at a company you would like to join. If you want to work for a Google, or maybe you're interested in events and you are like, wow, I wonder about Pinterest, maybe they have an office in somewhere. There's one down here in Atlanta, and you don't know anyone that works there. LinkedIn is a fantastic tool to connect you to a group of people that work at the organization where you want to work. Okay, there's a search feature, so you can search for jobs there. We're not going to talk too much about that today, but just know that it's there. And again, I can't stress enough, this is a fantastic opportunity to market yourself to a very broad audience. Okay. So a little bit before we start looking at some profiles, adding a profile to your photo is going to make you 36 times more likely to receive a message on LinkedIn. So if you're one of those folks that have a sad little gray circle right now as your profile picture, just know that it's really important to change that out, especially prior to graduation. Okay. LinkedIn profiles with photos get 21 times more views, and the average number of connections per LinkedIn user is 400. I think I have over 1,000 connections, but that's because I was a recruiter and the core function of what I used to do was to connect with people to look for top talent. But just so you know, the more people that you have in your network, the more connections you will have, and the more you will be able to send messages and do things like that. You have to connect with the people first prior to doing that type of engagement and outreach. So it's really important that you connect with people in your network. Okay, I have this stat up here. I lived in the Washington, D.C. area for about 10 years. And so if you are looking to do something in politics or something, in the D.C. area, over 79% of D.C. insiders utilize LinkedIn. And please don't lead your summary with motivated. As you start to look at professionals, a lot of people lead with motivated. So we want to be a little bit more creative and make sure that we focus on really putting our best digital selves forward and being different. Okay. So when you build that profile, you're going to want to keep your summary. Everyone has a summary. Okay. And we're going to look at that in just a minute. But you want to keep your summary focused and top loaded. And I'm just going to rattle off a few words. And if you're taking notes, I encourage you to take can write down this, might help. But you want to keep that summary top loaded by designing a keyword rich summary based on job descriptions that you're interested in. Okay. So let's say that you're interested in event planning, but you don't really know, do you want to work for a boutique organization? Do you want to work for a large organization? You want to do event planning, in some other way. Maybe start your own business. But you need to still build this description of who you are as a unique candidate on the platform. If you lead with, I'm a senior at James Madison University, well, what's so special about that? Maybe there are 15 other seniors at James Madison University that are seniors. You want to really think about 2 or 3 things that are your unique skills that bring you value. Maybe you speak 2 or 3 languages, okay? So you have strong language skills and collaborate well with diverse populations. Maybe you're a great communicator. So you might say, my extensive background in serving, partnered with my exceptional customer service skills and an ability to rise and meet challenges makes me a great candidate. You might be someone that's extremely organized in the way your brain works. You make lists, and your attention to detail is something that employers would look for maybe if they're looking to hire you. So think beyond just saying, I'm a senior and I'm looking for a job. We want to really kind of get into who you are as a unique candidate and how you can market yourself to the employer. So the big question is why? Why are they going to hire you? What makes you important? Okay. Taking time to establish your professional voice. This will blow people's mind if you start sharing content in your industry. Let's say there's some research going on in your field, a professor shares some information, or you read an article, or you maybe Eta Sigma Delta comes out with some great news, like a PR, a press release or something, and you share it. As you start to share content, you become a thought leader in your field. And doing that at such a young age, it goes back to that point of excellence. Like if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be someone that wants to go out and get the best opportunities possible in the workforce, sharing information and being a thought leader in your field and being on the platform and engaging is going to catch the eye of decision makers. Okay. You're going to really want to do the next thing we talk about, joining and following groups related to your industry, especially alumni groups. Star this. If you're putting this presentation out or if you're taking notes, make sure you star this. This is the one thing I'm really going to focus on because as a former faculty member and teaching this type of class, professional development, the number one thing that I saw vetted results in terms of people getting internships and entry-level jobs is the ability to connect with people that have a job that they want, that went to school where they went to school, because there's such this unspoken connectivity of saying, hey, you sat where I sat. And the decision maker on the other end, whether it's the hiring manager or the recruiter, remembers what it's like to be your age and remembers what it's like to go through those feelings of uncertainty and trying to figure your life out and get a leg up on the competition. So we're going to take a minute and I'm going to flip over to my LinkedIn account and kind of walk you through that. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we are. Okay. All right, so here we are on LinkedIn. And I want you to also think about, this is a little trick I do. If you look at my profile right here, you're going to want to make sure we talked about, the importance of showing yourself as a professional. Sometimes your university may offer free headshots from a marketing department. You may have a friend that's a great photographer. My background's in communication. That's what my master's degree is in. 60 to 90% of all communication is nonverbal. So it's really important that you have a fantastic picture. It should just show yourself, not you and your dog, even though we love your dog. Your dog's really cute. Not you and your significant other. That's a no-no. Not you and, your mom, even though we love mom. But it should just be you. And it shouldn't, no duck lips. None of that. We need to have it be professional, where you're putting yourself in the mindset that an employer is going to be looking at this and be kind of looking at my nonverbal communication on this platform. I use a plain blue background because blue is a very peaceful color. A trick that you can do is, let's say you really want to work for Target, you know, at a high level, you want to go in and kind of see what would be opportunities at Target, or you may use red and white in your background. Let's say you really want to live in an international city. Let's say you want to go to Dubai, or you want to live somewhere tropical, work for a hotel chain that's somewhere in a tropical environment. You might put a visual of the location. A lot of my students that wanted to work on the Hill in Washington, D.C. would have a picture of the Capitol up in the background. And you can change this up just like you do on Instagram or Facebook, but it is a strategic marketing tool for you to go in and actually customize your background to target certain employers with their branding. So if your brand matches their brand, they're going to be a lot more likely to call you. Okay, so what I want everyone to do, I'm going to use James Madison University as an example, is you're going to go to the search bar and you're going to type in your university, your alma mater. Okay, you're going to go ahead here. Okay, a big thing, you're going to make sure you're following them to get all that great information if you're not already doing that. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to click on this beautiful button called alumni. Okay, and this is a fantastic resource. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, this tool is going to show you, based on people's LinkedIn profiles, where they are living and where they are working. Okay, so you can kind of see, all right, people are working at James Madison, Capital One, Booz Allen, but watch this. If I type in hospitality management, okay, you're going to see, if you scroll down, a list of students that are either not only majors, but graduated from the university, and you can see where they work. Okay, so if you type that in, you can see, you know, you just want to see, okay, well, who graduated from my university, pending that their information is accurate, and what kinds of companies they're working for now. Okay, so one thing I did earlier in the day was just type in, I took away hospitality management and I just typed in event planning. Okay, and if you come down here, you get to see people that may not have graduated with your major, but they're doing something in the field that you want to be in, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, so you're saying, okay, well, I found someone. So then what you can do, okay, let's say you would like more information on, I'm going to pick Clare Bridge. Okay, I know people that I used to work with that work there, so we're going to click on her, which looks fantastic, and I just did this randomly, but Taylor, who doesn't know I'm using her as an example today, but as we're searching on LinkedIn, this is an idea. You can get a lot of information about companies and employees and opportunities just based on doing a simple search. Okay, so she's got the background. She probably lives and works in DC. If we look at her background, okay, let's see. She was at James Madison in 2015 to 2017. Okay, you can see that this was her internship. As we go up, you can see the different companies she was with, and she's been with Clare Bridge for just 4 months. So she's not been with the organization that long, but she did go to the same university that you went to. So you might send an email to this person and say, hey, you know, I see that you're an event coordinator at Clare Bridge. I would love to know more about, you know, your position and how you got there. I have, you know, I'm in the same position that you were in a few years ago, and I'm looking for opportunities and would love a few minutes of your time to chat if you're available. Okay, so the vast majority of people think, oh my gosh, like, I don't know them. This is weird. It's really not weird. People love to talk about themselves. That's the thing. So if you engage with someone strategically on this platform, bond over the fact of where you went to school, you're going to get responded to. It happens all the time. It happens for all of my students, and no one has ever come to me and said someone was nasty to me on LinkedIn in the past decade of me doing this. So you have no fear of rejection. One more thing I want you to do is, instead of searching by major, by the title of job that you want, think about searching by the employer themselves. You're on this alumni page. Let's say you want to go big and you're like, I really want to work for Google. Typing in Google. Okay. You can look down and see These are all people that work at Google that graduated from your alma mater. Okay, here's Tara. Let's see what she does. Okay, perfect. Great headshot for her. Looks fantastic. Her background, you can tell she loves events. She's gone ahead and customized that background picture for her industry. And it tells in her title that she is a manager for on-site events at Google. Well, let's see what she did, okay? So if I go down to her summary, let's check out what she says. Highly qualified event director with a proven track record of helping clients plan and manage successful events. Skilled marketing and business professional, okay, with a decade of industry experience in planning, coordinating, marketing, and executing special events, okay? So she's telling you her value in that presentation, okay? Not just that she's an event manager, she customized it with compound sentences and really getting to like showing the reader that they're a very communicative person and also very skilled in their background. So where do you think, I'm going to scroll down, where do you think she started out to get at Google? Let's go down and see what internship she had. So she was at JMU with that background in digital communication, which may or may not be different from yours, but at the same time, employers are looking for candidates with all types of backgrounds for all types of positions. Your major is never going to lock you into just one job. You know, the interview itself is extremely important, and being able to articulate your skills on platforms like this is just as important as well. Okay, so as you look up, she started out, let's see where her first was. She was an event planner. You can see at a vineyard in Northern Virginia, in Charlottesville, Virginia. You may be thinking to yourself, I'm doing the same thing, okay? Then she did some work, you know, working as an event manager in Richmond, going up, okay? And then she got a position. She went from an opportunity where she was an event manager all the way up to she was working with the US Army as an events and marketing manager, which is a big deal. It's a big brand, right? Another thing you should know is the bigger your brand is that you start out with, the easier it is to transition to other large brand organizations, okay? So as we go up, you could even reach out to her and say, I would love an opportunity to know, you know, about your role. Do you love your job? She's working in the Washington, D.C. area, and it looks like she's partnered with Google. If she's not, she's working for Maritz Travel, but she's an on-site manager. Maybe Google's one of her clients. You might want to talk to her about what she does. And reaching out to her as a connection, you would go right here and connect. And then you could also send her a message, okay? This is something people do every day, and it's something that I really highly recommend that you do, and maybe set a goal for yourself of reaching out to maybe 3 or 4 people, okay? 3 or 4 people a week could be a really good way to get your feet wet in the platform itself after you've got your connections up and you've written out your experiences and your capability summary right here. Okay, another thing we're going to talk about, and I don't want to hop out, is who are those gatekeepers? So these are people that actually went to the school that you went to doing a job that you want to do. There's another angle that you can pursue. Let's say that you want to work for, I'm just going to use Pinterest because I found someone earlier. You know, I'm like, I've never thought about working for Pinterest. You type in people. So I'm looking for people that work at Pinterest, okay? If I scroll down and I'm looking, there are account managers, there's recruiters, okay? So right here, okay, these are the keywords, and this is on the presentation, so you'll have that. You're gonna look for recruiters, recruiting coordinators, talent acquisition specialists, and HR managers, okay? These are people and titles that the sole purpose of their job, like what I used to do, is to find fantastic candidates like you that are members of honor societies, that are striving to achieve excellence on a daily basis, that are really focused in on wanting to be the best of the best in their respective field. And so when anyone reaches out to one of these people with these titles, they are going to get a phone interview. I used to have a very high quota for hiring for the software company I worked for. And anytime someone wrote me a very well-written note asking me if I would have time to discuss my hiring needs and their background, if it was a student, I would absolutely do it. Less than 10% of students think about job application in a proactive way. Most people, and this is for people that have been in the workforce a long time, wait for a job to post or only use their direct network. So LinkedIn is really providing you an opportunity to expand digitally in a very in a time where that's very important, to a broad realm of decision makers and people that are going to help you get what you want. So if I click on her profile, okay, if I went and, you want to look down and see, well, is there anything we have in common? Maybe she's from your hometown. Maybe they went to the school that you went to. You could find that out also by the alumni finder by going in and actually typing in the word recruiter and seeing how many gatekeepers is what I like to call recruiters and people that are in human resources, that sole purpose is to find great talent and pass them along to the hiring manager. The key thing I want to really reiterate here is she also has, look at all these great relationships she has, okay? So she calls herself a talent acquisition specialist here. Her title is recruiter, okay? These are a couple phrases that I've written down the presentation. Make sure you know those names. So she used to work at Google, okay? So if you're someone that wanted to work at one of those big organizations, she not only has a network of people here, she probably knows people at the various organizations she's worked with before. Again, it's all the way back to expand, expand, expand. Put out as many feelers as you can and see what comes back. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Okay, so let me go and pull up my presentation. We're gonna hop back over. Fantastic. Which brings me to my next slide. Don't ever fear rejection. So working with college students and knowing, I used to do something called cold calling, an exercise I called cold calling into HR departments. And I would have students that would freak out because they would have to call in and speak to a human being. And it was crazy, right? Like if you're not mom or grandma or like brother on his birthday, you're not calling into HR departments. But the thing is, people that are maybe 5, 10, 15 years older than you, they love having students do this. So you could partner a strategy where you reach out on LinkedIn, and if someone doesn't get back to you, you can call into the HR office and ask for that person. You've already got their title. You've already got, a note sent over to them. It shows such leadership and such striving for just you're a hustler, you're someone that's trying to get that position, and people are going to take the time to speak with you if you're showing those types of qualities. So don't fear rejection. Think of me, just think of your extroverted friend that has no filter. Professionally, or send a note to someone that you're interested in speaking to and follow up on the phone. It really works and it makes an impact, especially with your generation. Okay, also remember you're going to get that high response rate from recruiters because the most important part of their job is to find top tier candidates. They're looking for you. And if you don't send a resume into them, how are they going to find you? Career fairs are going to be changing if they haven't already. Maybe your school didn't have one maybe they had to be virtual, So you really want to think about, reaching out to people on this platform because they're looking for you. And they have hiring goals. Every year, a company sits down and thinks about, okay, what's our budget? What are we investing in? How much money do we have to hire entry-level people? And then they make a decision, and there is a number, and there's turnover internally, and there's promotions. So people are always looking, those recruiters and talent acquisition specialists are always looking for people. And there is no amount of outreach you can do that is too much to engage them because they're looking for you. Okay, a couple final thoughts on things. You want to utilize LinkedIn's mobile app. It's fantastic, and it puts it on your phone so you can just log on, just like you do all your other social media, and you can search for jobs, and you can go ahead and connect with people and send notes. Use the alumni finder. It is the most important tool out there because it creates a way and a path for you to come up with a common interest for people that can drastically affect your career. You must engage in LinkedIn. I can't stress this enough. So LinkedIn, unlike a lot of, let's say you're just a scroller on one of the other, you don't do a lot of posting, but you're a scroller. Okay. You can't be that way in LinkedIn. They need to find you. Okay. So in order for them to find you on that platform, I want you to be strategic and do your outreach. send a note to the person that went to your school, send a note to the hiring manager, follow up on the phone as another way to kind of bring it all together to make sure that you get noticed, because that's the most important thing. Okay. Please don't just rely on a resume submission. I can tell you we had an applicant tracking system, an ATS. So what happens when you log on and you send your resume, it does go somewhere, it does land somewhere. However, it can be kind of a giant abyss, especially for big companies. And if you don't qualify and your resume doesn't have the keywords that are needed to get you looked at by a human set of eyes, then you may never have the opportunity to speak with someone about the opportunity you're interested in. So this just provides you a guaranteed way to get noticed in front of someone that can get your resume passed along, and you can add it as an attachment when you go and connect with that recruiter. So let's all agree that we're going to proactively engage those decision makers this month, the month of May. We're going to reach out to recruiting coordinators and recruiters, talent acquisition specialists, human resources managers, and hiring managers. Every company has a different language for how they coin their HR department, and this is just kind of giving you some structure for that. And that is all I have. That is my personal email information. I have a big passion and want to show support to all the students out there, especially the hospitality students right now. I waited tables all through college. I work special events. And I know that there may be a lot of anxiety going on right now. If you have any questions, if you're someone that's like, wow, that made a lot of sense to me, I don't know exactly how to write that email so that it gets noticed, you can send me a note. I'd be happy to help you out. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And please just know you should be so proud of yourself for not only being in this society, but for striving for excellence as a part of that, and for really making sure that you're helping your future self out by engaging in these sessions right now, because they matter. And having this little bit of information, oh my goodness, I wish I had it when I was your age, because I didn't. It turned out okay, but I would have probably been a lot better if I had had it. So thank you so much, Professor Rourke, and I can't wait to see where everyone ends up.
Great. Thank you so much, Lindsey. And I'm sure the students will find you on LinkedIn as well.
Yes, connect with me. I think of around 1,000 connections. I have people at many different organizations that will probably be of interest to you. And I have it on my phone right here. So when you add me, I will connect with you as well.
Great. Well, we really appreciate your time, and we know our ESD students will reach out, and we hope you really enjoyed this session. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Lindsey and all her great tips on LinkedIn, your professional excellence, and just be the best self that you can be. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.